everyone and welcome back to my channel. So when it was announced that ART Putrajaya is back, we were so happy that immediately we went to the first trip in the morning to ride the ART. But what is ART? So ART stands for Autonomous Rapid Transit. It is a trackless and driverless tram. It uses technology developed in China by CRRC, a leading company renowned for producing and manufacturing rail components and systems. So currently the ART is still in its trial phase, which we'll get into it more in detail later. So when we went, there were two scheduled routes. There were the routes on the weekdays and there was another route on the weekends. And both of these routes, they go to slightly different locations on the weekdays and on the weekends. And because the ART was also in its trial phase, so there was also a limited number of operations and times for the day. So on some days you may operate one time, on some days you may operate two times, or some days, depending on the number of passengers, they may operate more than two times, maybe 4 or 5 times a day. So with that being said, where to start and how to get to the ART stop and station. So if you're taking the MRT, get on the yellow line, which is the MRT 2 line or the MRT Putrajaya line, and then get off at the MRT Putrajaya Central Station. But like us, if you are driving, there were a lot of parking spaces that you can park nearby. There's the Hospital Putrajaya and there are other parking spaces around the MRT station. But not to worry, in the future, there's the MRT Putrajaya Central Park and Ride, which is a multi-story car park, which when we went, it was under construction, so it should be completed soon in the near future. So the ART starts and stops at the bus terminal at the MRT Putrajaya Central, because apparently the ART charging station and depot is nearby the MRT station as well. So back to our trip. We went on a weekday and we started on the first trip at 8:30 in the morning at the MRT Putrajaya Central Station. So if you're thinking of riding the ART, my advice would be to go for the first ride at 8:30 in the morning, because the ART is still in its trial phase. So depending on the weather and also depending on other factors, the authorities, they may limit the number of rides for the day. So when we went on that day, there was only one ride, and thankfully we were on that ride in the morning. And this ride that we went was a weekday ride. So because it was a weekday, the route that we went on was a weekday route. And on this route, they stopped at administrative locations and tourist locations and stops in Putrajaya. So from Putrajaya MRT, the route takes us to the next stop, which is the Dataran Putra. So the ART is a 3-coach tram. If you are sat in the LRT, it's basically taking 3 short coaches from the train track and putting them on the road. And with that, the ART is a trackless tram. And as the name stands for Autonomous Rapid Transit, when we went, we were still in its trial phase, so it had to be manually operated on and from both ends. But in the near future, it will eventually be automated. So at Dataran Putra, you can be touristy and take photos of the Putra Mosque, the Prime Minister's office, the Putra Bridge and the Sultan of Selangor's Lakeside Palace. So from Dataran Putra, the next stop was Dataran Wawasan. So at each stop, there is a tram zone or zone tram. This is where the tram will stop to pick up and drop off passengers. And we saw a lot of people taking photos on the ART from outside and admiring it, because I guess it's a really new thing in Putrajaya. So at Dataran Wawasan, you get a glimpse of some of Malaysia's administrative buildings and architecture, like the MOF, Menara Pakeso, National Registration Department, GPN, and Mahkamah Persekutuan Malaysia. So with that, the next stop on this route is Wisma Tani. So when we went, the tram was driven on the main road. There is no dedicated tram lanes. If there were dedicated lanes, the tram would move faster. At top speed, the tram could move the maximum of 70 kilometers per hour. When we went, it felt like it was moving at like 40 kilometers per hour. And that's maybe because it was still in its trial phase. And because it was still under trial, the authorities had to do feasibility studies and to study how the tram would fit into and operate under realistic traffic conditions. Because it's a new vehicle on the road, some motorists might not be aware of the tram, or there could be risk of accidents. For example, maybe a motorcyclist trying to overtake the tram. So these are some of the things taken into consideration by the Perbadanan Putrajaya. So that's that. Now the next stop is Lingkaran Gemilang. So as mentioned, there are two routes currently. When we went and recorded, Route 1 stopped at the administrative and touristy locations like MRT Putrajaya Central, Dataran Putra, Dataran Wawasan, Wisma Tani, Lingkaran Gemilang, and Precinct 9. Route 2 stopped at more leisurely places like Precinct 9, MRT Putrajaya Central, Dataran Putra, Dataran Wawasan, IOI City Mall, Alamanda, and Lebo Bestari. And with that, the next stop is Precinct 9. So, finally, we are back at the MRT Putrajaya Central. We started at MRT Putrajaya Central and ended back at the MRT station. So during our ride, we got to see a lot of Putrajaya. The whole trip, round trip, lasted about 1 hour 30 minutes. And with that, we did a rough guide on the route. You can find the route in the link in the description below. So with that, that concludes our review and our tour of the ART Putrajaya. Thanks for watching, and if you like this trip, hit the like button below and subscribe to this channel below to stay tuned for more videos like this and in real estate, investing, finance, and home and living products.